Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress of Zion. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney. I'm an artist. I'm an actionist. I'm an author. And right now, I am the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to our newest program on the network, which is Lion Talk. We have been testing out the live format so far. We've been getting a very positive response, so big up everyone who is here live. Today, we have to give thanks and praise for the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Today, we celebrate his Earth Strong. We also celebrate the Earth Strong of Menelik II, Emperor Menelik II. So we have to big up Emperor Menelik II. We also celebrate the Earth Strong of His Highness Zariakob in Ethiopia. So for Rastafari around the world, today is a very special day, and we're going to get into Marcus Garvey, UNIA, repatriation in particular in this episode. I'm very honored to have a very special guest, someone I have known for many, many years, who I've seen their work on the battlefield, tested. I say one of them, if not the most traveled Rastafari on the planet. I don't know more ones that travel more than this sister. She's also a part of a lot of history within the movement, a worker in the vineyard. I'm going to introduce to the family, to the Lion Pride, someone who, I consider a close sister, and someone who has been a reliable worker of Rastafari. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Queen Mother Moses. Hold on one moment here. There is...
Greetings!
Okay, microphone and everything.
I have to give thanks to my firstborn, Isachar. Yeah, definitely. It's a family affair.
I can't see Isachar. Make Isachar coming at it.
Blessed.
Hold on there, Isachar. We can't see your face. You have to come where your mother is. Because we have you on a Zoom. Zoom. See there?
Okay.
Yeah, man. We see the heights now. We see the heights. Salute. Yes, I.
Yes, blessed and blessings. See?
Yeah, man. Beautiful, beautiful. It's an honor.
Blessings. Thank you.
Family affair. My firstborn here at Earth Strong 2 days ago.
Okay. Well, yes. It's an honor to be able to talk to his mother today here. Remember to look at your camera. Don't look at the screen. Look at the camera. There, you see it? Yes.
Okay.
You see it? Because yes. So you're looking at the audience like we're gonna get this format, people. We're just coming, We're seasoned, but we're not going to let the young people outdo it on the technology. So it is a blessing. I want to just go through very briefly some of the bio, because sometimes when we say Rastafari, we don't overstand. Said, even out in the world, I and I are very distinguished, in terms of the accolades and the certifications. I've never seen this much certifications. I'm going to be honest with you. When we look at the letter then, I say, whoa, this have to read. So I want to, before we get into the topic and get down, this is Queen Mother Moses, Wunzuya Queen Mother Moses, Dr. Marcia Stewart, PhD, DD, DBS, MSED, MSW, MSED, BA, CPL, CTAS, CISD, and she is a prison chaplain, a global community activist, an educator, a poet, a psychotherapist, a clinical social worker, born in Cassava Peace Village, Constant Spring, Kingston, Jamaica. I've been to the family home, so I can testify. Queen of Cassava Peace.
You can testify that you eat out of the garden, not true?
Yes, 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 yes. That's the benefit, of having sister way. Because I drive through Cassava Peace from where I youth, but I'm the first person when I know who actually come from Cassava Peace. Get pulled over by police in Cassava Peace, gunpoint, where only a story we can talk about Cassava Peace. But Queen Mother Moses is the first person I know were rooted there. So we can touch that too. But she's a certified paralegal, master life coach, and so much more. So it's a great honor to really have the eye on the program, although we've been working together for over a decade now. Woolipa works, never missing from the battlefield. Just bless up the place, Queen Mother Moses, please.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings, family out there in cyberspace. Yeah, global empire arc, throughout the entire world. I and I there. Hobby just calling from Ghana. Right now it's 8 minutes after midnight. That means it's Friday there in Ghana. Give thanks, Nana Nancy, for being in. So, today is so powerful. Time is so important. I will go and end this with, His Majesty telling us how important time is. That's why we must waste it. But this particular date of August 17, so many things keep on happening in this cycle. You overs. From we have the birth of Menelik, we have the birth of his wife, his second wife, Taitu, Empress Taitu and Emperor Menelik. And you know what is interesting, for Empress Taitu, as we're talking about Rastafari woman, and this month, August, is recognized as Women's History Month in Southern Africa, in South Africa. Why? Because August 9th, 20,000 black, white, colored Indian women marched to the union to give a petition because they wanted black women to, in the country where them born, for walk around with a pass, for say them allowed to walk around in them own country where them born by people who invaded their country. So August is, recognized in South Africa as Women's History Month. And we're recognizing that with some of the presentation that will happen. And we know Marcus Messiah Garvey, our beloved, prophet that pointed us to look to Africa for the crowning of the king, or day of redemption shall be near. We know other people have made such prophecies also, but he specifically, with his wife, documenting it in the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey, saying that late though it be, because the white man can worship him God through his white spectacles, and the Chinese through him Chinese spectacles, but if say late though it be, we, the people of color, the African, will worship God through our own spectacles, but we're going to worship our God through the spectacles of Ethiopia, the God of Ethiopia. So, Ethiopia stretch forth her hands unto God. I will give thanks for Marcus Messiah Garvey. Because as I go through the presentation I will share, Marcus Messiah Garvey, August 1st through 31st, 1920, right? I said centenary plus 3 because 2020 was the centenary. Had that conference for the whole month of August. So you see, this month of August, is a very, very important month.
Powers,
Things
powers.
usually have to happen. See it, and for the whole month of August in 1920, we had 25,000 from the Caribbean, from the continent, from throughout, the Americas was in New York. They are Liberty Hall and they march onto Madison Square Garden. You know how powerful that is. And then on the 13th now of August, Centenary plus 3, Marcus Garvey, don't say everyone have a flag, but the coon, that's what the other people them say. So make sure, say, the flag was veiled. See it. And the 13th and the demands and the declaration of the rights of the Negro people of the world and the flag, unfurled on August 15th, which, for me is such a blessing because I gave birth to a son on August 15th too. So this month is
Okay.
very, very, yeah, man, a powerful man. I give thanks because all of the holy days, them some or other related, my family celebrate also when these holy days. So we know, say, we have our crown prince, yes, Zara
Mhm.
Jacob, as for Wasin, Haile Selassie, Jehovah,
Yes.
also born this date of August 17th. So I'm telling you, some mystic things happen on this
Mystic day.
particular date. Really
Oh,
mystic. So,
stick a pin, because before we get into the mystics, I want the people to know who is Queen Mother Moses. We talk about cassava peace. Just take me quickly. Where were you born? Just take us up to
all right,
right now so that we have some context. Because when we're going at
yes,
the reasoning, I want the people to know who is delivering the message.
all right. Mabana UC. That means is the University College of the University of the West Indies. Right? That's
Okay.
why I they are you, because my name is string, they cut
I,
me
I
so.
was born there as well. So we're born in the same place.
You see that? And I want to tell you, Alma Mater, Howard University, I finally got to be a student when I was the last publishing class that Howard University, and I got a full scholarship, for publishing at Howard University. And we were the last class, and it was right after apartheid ended in Southern Africa. And the one that came from Southern Africa for it, him couldn't take it because him couldn't overstand, how he was supposed to treat people who look like me equally.
Yes.
Because he
Yes.
might internalize, you understand, his apartheid thinking. So it's a lot of things. So yes, I was born in Cassava Peace, come home to the village, and I've been blessed to see 7 generation in that village. It named
Okay.
Cassava Peace. That means, say, you know what that means. It was a slave plantation that was planted
Shift over a
cassava.
little bit this way. Shift. Yes, there you
Yes.
go. There you
All
go.
right.
Go
So
ahead.
it was a slave plantation that was what? Cultivating cassava. Yes,
Okay.
the bammy and all of that. All
And
right.
many people who are not Rastafari would know that from the singer Movado popularized it within the dancehall space as the gully side, and these things he was singing about is right there in Cassava Piece.
Right there.
Just to
As a matter of
provide
fact,
some
you might
context.
call the card, but my grandfather was the
Yes.
gully landlord. So
Okay.
even my mother them was rented from my grandfather. But no, we were over the gully or up the hill on the other side. Nowadays, them call it the residential side. Because, you see, my great grandmother, right, she know, and my grandmother, it was the takul with the floor was mud floor.
Okay.
You over
Okay.
direct Africa, the connects and everything. You don't see it. Then my mother now bring it up our next generation. She get some wood where look like when you paint it, it look like it's concrete. And when you come on my village, you can come see it still look like it's concrete. You understand? And that are from almost decades now, 6 decades, right? So no, I so then that was my great grandmother, right? Then my grandmother, then my mother, right? Then me, 4 generation. Then me go have my daughter, the 5th generation, and she have my granddaughter, the 6th generation, and my
Wow.
granddaughter have my great granddaughter. So me see 7 generation are
Wow.
freed. We're born free. You of us. in a this farmer slave plantation. That is a great thing for I and I. You know, see it. And my daughter now own name of your daughter, Jania. Because Nia, the Kiswahili principle for purpose, it's a your daughter for come uphold your purpose. And her daughter, my granddaughter, in turn, have named my great granddaughter also Jania. So I mean I have nothing to do with it. So I feel good for know say 7th generation and we are all it in our bars. We are
Yeah,
all
man.
it.
Give thanks. Give
Yes.
thanks.
So,
And
me
so
leave
what
give me my first Sunday school class when I'm 7 years old. You understand?
okay.
Because you have to
Okay.
have Sunday school clothes to go to the big church down at Manuelville Road, Rosedale. You know, see it. And my mother did not go to America from 1964. So me had the clothes, but the villagers, the children, them they never have it. So when me 7 years old now, they would have come in at the village at evening, Sunday evening time, and pray for those who old and sick and disabled and whatever. And one Sunday, the matriarch of the, them head wrap, of course, now them full white long dress. You, pray. Me and my little pick to themselves now with that, you would even pay them no mind. I'm just start praying them getting that spirit. And by the next Sunday, at the big standpipe, yes, Miss Knight standpipe. Yeah, them the grass and coconut thing them set up. And anything them teach me at Sunday school in the morning, Sunday morning, me come in the village and teach my peers, some of them older than me, Sunday evening. So that was my first. Then we go America 7 years later at 14 years old. And them want to put me in a junior high school, even though I'm done in a high school all long already. All right. So too, we under the British system. Me decide now, say, all right, them in the assembly, them say, the New York State Board of Education is funding a tutorial of peer tutors that are honor students. So me decide, say, boy, to me do it the British way, me the American, when you in Rome, you do as the Romans do, me want go master them own in America. So me go at the after school tutorial program. 15 minutes after I was at the tutorial program, I was tutoring the tutor. Half an hour later, this Jew man come over and never forget his name, J. Libel, never forget his name. And him say, congratulations, look on him strange. He said, you're a newest tutor. That's how I got my first paid job with New York State Department of Education. So that was 4 years later. You see, so I think them doing the going at 7. And
So
7 years
you
later,
came to
I'm here.
America as a teenager. You came to America
Yes,
as a
at
teenager.
13. At
So
13.
when did you first when were you first attracted to Rastafari? When or were you
Oh,
born?
it's not me, man. Them give me the same 7 year old at the time. I know say everything in place. Cause my granduncle give me my first chalice at 7 years old. And three
Okay.
years ago, my mother let me know that he was the one that got the gift to communicate with the ancestors, and he could see them and communicate with it. So it's after that. No, me I go find out now that I am the one that this was recognized as the one that got the gift, and it was passed on to, so I had to give me that chalice at 7 years old. And the matriarchs I'll give me my Sunday school at 7 years old too. So, this has been my life thing. Come remember, when we are going Sunday school, you always get a one sentence to study for the next week. And so me always, and one day, me I study one Sunday evening, me I study my one sentence, me say, you know what? One day when I grow up, I am going to read this book from the beginning to the end.
To the
7
end.
years old, I made that pledge, right?
Okay.
And go America and
So were you Rastafari at 7 years old or
yeah,
when?
man, I say, yeah, man, me I say, Ross, see,
Okay.
cause we in our
So
village,
was your family Rastafari? Because I hear you say Sunday
Well,
school.
my grandmother know, right? My
Yes.
grandmother, her head always wrap, a pure long skirt she wear, and she always have me with her at the shepherd and the table, just like Naya Bingi. You
Okay.
over from a little bit, and them always a sing for the conquering lion shall break every chain and give us
Okay.
a victory again and again. That was the theme song. You over.
Okay.
So you see, Naya Bingi. So I'm coming at this fear to Naya Bingi. But when we go to the
Okay.
first 12 tribe meeting, and them say you have to study a chapter per day will keep the devil away. You have to study it from beginning to the end. Me say, what? I do me a bingy data and anything join off a pop. That one year, the first time you ever join anything, you know, see it. Step up as, a registered Rastafari and give me vote to the King of all kings, Lord of all lords, conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. That was the first time when the two
Okay.
sevens clashed during
What
coronation,
what year are we talking about?
November 2nd, 1977.
Because that was the year I was born, you know. Queen Mother Moses looked like a teenager. So me just want the people them over want the people them overstand saying that a young person that we're talking about. 'Cause I was born in 77 and me have people that call me elder. Have to correct them because me's a man still, but me not reach elder status. But she was doing these things in 77. She's talking about joining the 12 tribe of Israel.
Right, and I was
Um,
already a bingy data because them time they, we are the generation because them time they know bingy I say, oh, now going on no belly and no beast, right? But we are the generation, we are youth, in our high school, Theodore Roosevelt, and we have a fight black Americans who think that them was going to use us now as them stepping stone because them was the bottom of it. But I did them I tell for go back from our banana boat and to this day I'm telling
okay,
you, my brethren, I have not seen a banana boat yet. You over.
okay,
But I know
okay.
we have to mobilize and go a different school in Vanda
So,
child
so
fight
in that time in the 70s, you're saying in New York City
69
there was
yeah,
prejudice against Jamaicans
yes.
in
Yes.
in terms
Yes.
of
Right. And
the
we
fresh
couldn't
off the
understand it
boat.
because them look like us.
Yes.
Black American. So it couldn't. It was very, for young adolescent, very confusing. One we just leave and never did even want to leave our island. Very confusing. What are the wrong people? See them did I mess with. Cause when I go have it, cause them I tell me about if we then the man them used to, them used to wear them short pants and ask if them expect flood. The next thing you know, it become big fashion. I
Okay.
say
Okay.
everything. Yes, them 70s, the man was really,
Something
cause we
to
are at the 60s
behold.
going to
So,
70s. So go.
so when was your first trip to Africa? Because I tell people there is the most traveled Rastafari on the planet. I want somebody disprove me wrong because Queen Mother Moses fly all around the world. You speak to Queen Mother Moses, Ghana tomorrow, she in South Africa, Ethiopia, she gone, yes, so she gone there, so she in Jamaica. So when was your first trip to Africa? When did this repatriation
It was
energy start?
actually my first official ambassadorial assignment because our beloved matriarch Mama Faraika had worked with the Smithsonian to bring up the elders to Washington. We sent our
Yes,
brethren Yanni up there and we brought the elders to Atlanta. At the time, we
yes.
were already meeting as the children of the 12 tribes of Israel. Naya
Okay,
being the foundation, but each of us recognize our tribe. I, went down and I met with the prophet Gadman and tell him what was going on and him give me blessings and, come forward. I was sent for the ancient ones, them and, Mama Bubbles, I live with me and, different ones, live, Pido and overs and different ones. And so we start meeting as the children of the 12 tribes of Israel and now started to meet as the Atlanta Rastafari Community, ARC, local.
okay,
We take over an abandoned building and clean it out. It's owned by the Ethiopians and call it the Ethiopian Connection. When we start use reggae and start pop now and them decide so them go take away back them thing because it make money. And so we show them say how we bring the people so anywhere we go. So guess what we do? We go up a peacock. That time it was Eritrean, own peacock. And we tell them say say anywhere we they are there so the people are go there. You want we? And say yes. And I saw you see we bust up a peacock with reggae. You understand? And for years, that's how we bring in call every name the name artist, Dennis Brown, all at once. See, I met put Peacock forward pan the map because Peacock was a historic place where people like Black and Pro, James Brown and Harita Franklin and all of them Peacock, you know. So and I put it forward for the map as an historical place. So, I'm boss reggae in Atlanta with my
In
youth them
Atlanta.
as Moses children, then them grew up, then them turn into Rude Boys International when my daughter stopped sing with them. You understand? And the Fred Blacks and then Mandingo and pure history now because my first part, the one where you see just deal with this Bulwaki. Wackis is him father. And that is history in the Guinness Book of World Record, the first studio, reggae studio in America. Wackis do that. The first
Okay.
Sunsplash at Japan. Him, the Japanese guitar, and him bring him brethren, Sugar Minot as the starring act. A pure history we created up. You overs.
Wow.
So, yes, when the choose partners, they're not famous, but make them famous, because so the thing say, born to be queen mother and turn royalty out. So went and earned, had to, because when the ancient one, them, we decide no, say them, I saw the name Ark come to being. Because we are saying the prayers now, we are saying, Father who art in Zion, holy be thy name, thy kingdom come. And I want to say, and a who for kingdom come, and I want to say, Almighty Rastafari kingdom. And then we say, when our enemies are past that decayed in the depths of the seas, in the depths of the earth, or in the belly of a beast, or give us all a place in thy kingdom. And I want to say, now who for kingdom you want a place? And the next one I say, Almighty Rastafari kingdom, ARK. So you see empire, So I was sent now to represent the ARC local, ARC, Atlanta Rastafari community of global empire ark, Almighty Rastafari Kingdom. So the ark local was the first recognized, declared community of the global empire ark, the overs. And then, African Union come and declare Atlanta the gateway to Africa and all those wonderful things. So before I went in July 1992 for my pilgrimage to Ethiopia and to represent at the centenary of the return of the anointed Savior who get the name Ras as a title of head, creator, and Tafari to be feared and revered. And we are called by that name, which was first given and declared, September 27th. And Mr. Bless, my first my great grandson Jahir, them said Jai is here, them name him Jahir, born on that date. Jehovah. So we give thanks that that blessing came and I was able to stand up and when them, because the centenary committee in England had, we were doing certificates selling to build the tabernacle in Shashamane. Nana Faraika was in charge of it because she our matriarch, you understand? Everything we do to her and big her up because she's a restoration of the Omega principle, see it. And fear
Yes,
footstep
yes.
walk behind
We've
her.
been in touch with
See?
Nana Faraika. We're going to be bringing her on the Lion Talk to talk about some of her books,
Yes,
so that ones can purchase because she's been dutifully writing her works and different works of poetry or chart to Africa. So we're going to do a series. We're just reasoning about what that looks like. So stay tuned. Nana Faraika will be here. She is the matriarch of matriarchs in terms of
she is.
the professional Rastafari system that you see today. Nana Faraika set the black print.
Right, it's the Empress of Zion carrying out the work of Rastafari throughout the world. And
Yes,
guess who brought the Empress of Zion together? None other than our matriarch.
I was at that
Nana
conference
for
and I remember.
that was the first one. That was the
Yes,
first Empress of Zion. That's when we declare our
yes,
Holy Mother as divine. But we had three conferences before that, as Empress of Zion. But we
okay,
declared her divine at our university. Yeah.
okay,
Right.
okay,
When we came out with the book, and in the book too, different articles in there declared our divine. Jehovah's. In that book, my sister in South Africa, Dr. Ya Ashantua Ngidi, she did an article on womanist because nobody call no Rasta woman no feminist. Jehovah's. We know in that a white woman business. See it, we are womanists. See it, we come to uphold the family structure and build the nation. You overs. So you see, I like we talk about Empress Taitu. 4 times she married before. Emperor Menelik married her, that means the Emperor Menelik was our fifth husband. You understand? And say it wasn't about a virgin thing and who can give him children. Because Empress Taitu never did give birth to not even one. You overs. Yes, they should keep Ethiopia as the only African country never you colonize. Not true. Because of fear strategy, when them up on the hill, you understand, say cut off the water. Yes, make we have thousands of women as nurses, see it to support the man them. You understand? So we there from the very beginning as we continue to
I, I
uphold
I have a
women's
chapter
voice.
about Empress Taitu in my book, Haile Selassie's Ethiopia. So we go into the history of her unique upbringing and the circumstances before she connected with Emperor Menelik. So I know you have a lot to share today, so we want
Black
to get into
woman, you see?
what's the,
On my chest, that's a black woman, yeah. Black and beautiful and proud. Proud. I am an African born in Jamaica and don't feel no way. Me now give up no continent for no island, but trust me, me glad that Jamaica my born.
yeah.
Yes,
Well, I
I.
was telling someone that we can claim Jamaica nationality now that Jamaica is part of the sixth region. As part of the CARICOM. It's
Exactly.
the Caribbean islands now become satellites to the African continent. We have claimed those territories as part of the mother, so we can now.
The history where we get, I and I
Yeah,
get blessed, and that has been published. You okay? The Arabs took a set of Ethiopians from Jama, Werilu in Ethiopia, took them to Mesopotamia, which is Iran. No, and Great Britain bought them and sent them to Jamaica. That is part of the history that has been documented by the historians in Ethiopia. So when you talk about Jamaican, look how it's like as a child, you couldn't understand them ex business and the Arawaka how them get to Jamaica from that. You understand? But this make a sense to me because as a Jamaican, here where it say Jama, how we are the people from Jama Werilu. can. There's nothing the Jamaican can do. We not have no winter we can do. Winter Olympics. We are the fastest man and woman in the world to take on any big continent. And we just had that on the map. We make the
yes,
world
yes.
look
Well,
different.
as we say, the motto when you talk about the motto out of many one people, really, I interpret it to talk about the African nations, because we know in Jamaica there's a lot of classism, there's not a lot of assistance from the other ethnicities for the black population historically,
Yes,
and but however, the Jamaican identity has been forged by the Ashanti, the Fanti, the
yes,
Igbo, the Kikongo,
yes,
the Ewe, as you say, someone from Ethiopia. We have, many. It was a breaking ground, for Africans. So you had, troublemakers, quote unquote, that were sent from all over the continent to this island. So we really have to give thanks for that heritage, and let us talk about why we're here in part for a unique Jamaican, the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Share some of your thoughts about Jamaica first national hero. We titled this "Do You Remember Marcus Garvey?" We were reasoning about some interesting history in Ghana. We
definitely.
were interested. Use your microphone.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely. So I think this is a good time to go into the sharing part because I'm giving some overview. And
Okay.
you better call somebody and tell somebody because you'll get some information you never get before. You overs.
Okay,
You never
okay.
did
Me
have
know
it
say
before.
the
Yes.
certifications are not just there for show people. When Queen Mother Moses going on research, that's why we have to build platforms like this to allow Queen Mother Moses for those cook and bubble. All right, so
So
are we ready
listen
to
now.
share
I
the
think if
presentation?
I do I did send it to you to but let me see if we
Yes.
can get it from here, sir.
Hold on,
All
I think
right,
we have it
slide.
here to pull up. Oh,
Oh, you can pull it up.
yeah, see it there?
All right, so if you pull it up, you have to let me see if me can pull it up first. Put back down yours because then me can manage my own. Right, the
Okay, see,
video
you
file or
can
the
give her
slides.
sharing
Slides.
capabilities.
Okay, let me. Can I? I'm trying. I have no slides, so it not okay.
I
No,
don't, we're just getting used to this technology, so we
okay.
may have to
All right,
move the slide for you.
you do that. Right. Let's do that. So do go up to the slideshow because it's not in full mode now.
So that
Slideshow.
hurt woman healing hope is not what you want to see?
Yes, but is it in slideshow mode? I
Yes,
just slide.
it's in
Did you go back
slideshow.
the top?
It's in
It says
slideshow. I can
slideshow.
change this. I can
Okay.
change
All
it.
right. Go back there. Okay. All right. So yes. Um. Why am I doing hurt women healing hope? Because even though this month August, like me say, is Women's History Month in Southern Africa. And last year, it was about women healing, providing hope. This year, it's about women who tell our story and stories of resistance. So, like when the seal open, it's the same way. So, it's hurt women that are healing and offering hope. And that is what my presentation is going to be about because they work with the brothers, the king, the emperors,
Okay.
ensure
I still
that
going
the
want you touch upon Marcus when you finish your presentation,
all
okay?
right, it's a part of it, beloved. Go on. Let me
Yes.
move
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
So
Full
go
up.
yeah,
Full up. Full up.
right. Just go on forward then. Next. Yes. So the triple August. We have definitely Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. We have His Imperial Highness Zara Jacob. Her Selassie, and we have Emperor Menelik and also Empress Tai too. Right? All of them born August 17th. So more than Trinity. This is a quadruple. This is a box. Them just boxing the August 17th, right? Because the husband and wife team is two in themselves, and then we have the crown prince and we have the prophet, king, priest, prophet, and empress, queen of kings and queen of kings. Wow, what a blessing upon this August 17. Moving along. So we know who Marcus Messiah Garvey is. I mean, now go preach to the choir. We know what him do. And we know what him say. You overs. So the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of greatness. And that's what I and I want to ensure that always that we are upholding that. You hold on?
So,
One moment. Yeah, me have so much equipment here.
yes. Yes.
Let
Yes.
me
You're going good. You're going good. Just
just
talking to the mic.
all right, blessings. All right. So
Isaac.
slideshow, yeah, from right here. So we see now that August 13, right? Garvey and the UNIA Universal Negro Improvement Association, ACL, Africa Communities League, yes, delivered to the world from Liberty Hall the rights of Negro peoples of the world, the black people of the world. And this declaration became the blueprint for the Ethiopian World Federation, August 25th, 1937 Constitution, because this was August 1920, right? 17 years before. And it is also the blueprint for the United Nations December 10th, 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And we're going to go through how human rights is the art of everything because I and I, we have a right to life, liberty, and happiness. And for choose the God where we want for choose. You know, see it. So Marcus Garvey tell us that Ethiopia shall once more arise from the ashes of material ruin to the heights of temporal glory. So even as we see internal strife and fighting going on, don't watch that. Know that Ethiopia is going to remain in the unique status that it have. Just the people that born have to know they are part of an empire, a royal people, dynastic. You cannot make outside influence come and mash up your head. You know, see it? Because you hear what Marcus Garvey say? Whilst our God has no color, yet it is human to see everything through one's own spectacles. Let though it be, we Negroes, the blacks, believe in the God of Ethiopia, the everlasting God, and shall worship him. No, this is something I'm going to have to say with him because remember now, Psalm 68, verse 4 say what? Extol him that rides upon the heavens by the name Jah and rejoice before him. No, earth not create yet, when the God of heaven named Jah, right? Earth never create yet. And who is him? I tell you before, if you go to Genesis 1, verse 27, it said, God said, he make man and woman in his own image. In the image of God created he him. And the next three words after him is male and female. So from the very beginning, God was a hermaphroditic God. That was him, both her imperial majesty and his imperial majesty is the oneness of Jah. That's who dwell in the high heart as oneness of God, the Holy Mother, Father, God. But all of that has already been laid out in the scriptures for I and I, because it's one God, one aim, one destiny.
Well,
So,
this is why the stick up pin. This is why the family is so important because this is where man and woman come together to become one flesh to
and that's why,
manifest that divine
yes,
personality.
yes, yes. That's why the ankh of our Kemetic heritage. And we know that Kem is a part of the empire of Ethiopia. We know the Ganges River in India is named after the Ethiopian emperor that was ruling beyond India. So we are quite clear. Yes, so that Ankh represent the fullness. The womb is there, the ovaries are there, and the man penis is going right up into the womb to create life. That's the oneness of life.
That's
And
the
the creation
oneness. Because with that connection, you get that power to the create life, which
is
is
there.
only reserved to divine beings, which can
That is
create
why that
themselves.
ankh is so important. It's life. That's what, nothing else can give life except male and female, meeting at some point. See, to bring forward life. So as we look in this August, some of the questions by the time I'm finished, you will know what important event happened August 1 through 31, 1920 for the Pan-African movement of which Rastafari is a part. And I already talk about that in a New York, not true? Centenary plus 3. So you don't
Yes,
know
sir.
that. And when was the Pan-African flag and the demands and rights of the Negro black people declared? That was August 13, centenary, 1920, right? And where and why is August celebrated as Women's Month? We say August as Women's Month, we don't say as South Africa. That's weird. Why? Because August 9th, 1956. Wow, can you imagine? 67 years ago, right? Over 20,000 women, white, black, Indian, colored. You don't see it. March on the Union in South Africa, Pretoria, to deliver a petition to say no, black woman cannot be born in South Africa if you carry past in the country where them born. So now you know the where and the why of August celebrated as Women's Month, right? And why is South Africa an important part of the Rastafari faith movement? You know why? Because South Africa have more Rastafari than Jamaica have people.
Hmm. I've been
So it's
hearing
very,
this.
very
Yes,
important.
I've been
You see
hearing
them
this. So we have to
everywhere.
mobilize, and I
To
hope
mobilize.
the I tell them about the lion's voice,
Yes,
Queen Mother Moses, because I want our South African brothers and sisters to know they are not alone. They have a voice now, you know. Um,
definitely.
so you want me to continue the slides, or you still have something else on this slide
Yeah.
here?
Who was declared? Um. Oh yes, it's the next one. Go next. Now look on the next screen. Right. Give thanks. A three different screen. My son put something
Yeah,
in
man, me
the.
know so you're well technologically aligned.
Yeah. So yeah, but well, they make me feel comfortable when they're around, right? So now we
Yeah,
are gonna
man.
go in so you can know who was declared the mother of black freedom in South Africa. Me know everybody out there want to say is Winnie Mandela my role model. But I have news for you. Winnie Mandela was not declared the mother of black freedom in South Africa. She declared the mother, yeah, of the nation, which is a different title. You overs? And we are going to end this with how you should use your time according to His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, and in his 1959 address to the nation. Okay? So now we see that we are here with His Imperial Highness, the Crown Prince, Zara Jacob the Second, Amha Selassie, Haile Selassie. Yes, I. Born this day, 17th of August in 1953 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, as the grandson of our Emperor Haile Selassie. He was the son of Amha Selassie of Ethiopia, right, and the head of the imperial house of Ethiopia since the 17th of February 1997. He is recognized by the Crown Council of Ethiopia. And you know that the head of the Crown Council is His Imperial Highness, Her Maya Sal Selassie Haile Selassie, right? Yes. Now, Zara Jacob, the second Amma Selassie Haile Selassie, was designated as acting crown prince and heir presumptive in 1974 by his grandfather or holy father, Emperor Haile Selassie, because his father had had the stroke a year earlier. Okay, and Zara Jacob had attended Eton College and had graduated from Exeter College in Oxford. After the fall of the Ethiopian monarchy, Zara Jacob completed his studies at Oxford in the 1970s, right? He worked briefly as a banker in the United States. Many people didn't know that. And he moved to London and was married to Princess Nooni, right? Getane, and they subsequently divorced. That marriage produced a daughter, Princess Elideta, and briefly accompanied Amha Selassie to Virginia, United States, but he later returned to Manchester, England. Amha Selassie, he had previously been named, as I said, heir apparent, and his father had assumed title of Emperor in Exile May 5th, 1989. His Imperial Highness Zara Jacob II Amha Selassie Haile Selassie is a member of the 12 tribes of Israel Rastafari Mansion, and he is the executive director of the EPF, the Ethiopian Peace Foundation, which was founded in 2002. So, now you know something more about His Imperial Highness, right? So let's move right
Yeah,
along. Cause
man.
plenty things, right? Cause right down on the questions, because plenty information. So next, no, we go to the Triple Crown. Emperor Menelik II, 1844. Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, 1887. And we don't talk about Zara Jacob. And of course, we talked about Empress Tai II also. So, you know that Menelik II, his birth name was Dagmawi Menelik. He was born the 17th of August, 1844 in Angolala in the Shua province of Ethiopia. His father was Prince Haile Melekot, who was the son of King Sal Selassie. And his mother was Wazira, I don't want to mess up her name, right? And was a consort in King Sal Selassie Palace in Ankober. All right? He was baptized as Sal Mariam on the 12th of December, and he was the Emperor of Ethiopia from 1889 to his transition in 1913. He was King of Shua from 1866 to 1889, right? And he is buried at Baeta La Maria Monastery, which is now called the Sayil Bet Kidane Meheret Church in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. His genealogy is from the house of David, the Solomonic dynasty, right? And it's also known as the House of Solomon and the former ruling dynasty of the Ethiopian emperor. Its members claim lineal descent from the biblical King Solomon and Queen of Sheba, who got together, had Menelik the First. Haile Selassie is the 225th king from Menelik the First, the 226th king from Menelik the First father, who is Solomon, the wisest man that was on earth that time, and the 227th king from King David, which the scripture has promised us that is from King David's line, that Christ will return with a new name to sit on the throne of David. And at this time, I'm going to tell you now, remember 5-5, very important. 5-5, May 5th, right? Yeah, 1936, the emperor leave. 5-5, May 5th, 1941, 5 years later, in return. And guess what? Revelation 5:5 says, none was found worthy to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the seven seals thereof. And you know the seven seals opened November 2nd, 1930, when 72 nations of the world bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he
And,
went to
and
conquer
one of the
and to
things
conquer.
one of the things that we have to recognize, which is why I wanted to write the story of the life of the emperor, is that, you know, when you read about the miraculous occurrences about the birth, you can go back and see we did a lion talk about the birth of His Majesty with Ras Ivai and Mama Walete.
Yes.
We talk about the mystics. So at that birth, even though that was so beautiful and fantastic, he did not have to come and fulfill the things that I talk about May 5th, 1935, and then coming forward May 5th, 9th. None of that was guaranteed in terms of, yes, prophetically, but it's only, as the prophecy said, one man found worthy to actually live up to that
Can you
expectation
imagine?
that
None was
was
found
written.
worthy in the heavens, in the earth, and
Yes.
under the earth. None.
So one can disagree, but you cannot disagree. You know, you have to understand that the argument can be made factually, and we don't see any other person on the historical record that can meet
Because,
the
yes, and
requirement.
you know, because we are boss. How are we boss? B, we
Mhm.
are blessed. We are omnificent. What that mean? We have unlimited creativity. Right? We deal with arc and all of that. Unlimited what? Creativity. You don't see it. Kuumba. Right? That's B-O, the omnificent. And what the next S stand for? Spiritual. And where the final S? Scientists. Scientists of evidence. So if we're spiritual scientists, we have evidence of our spirituality. You of us. So we can ask any faith, show me your Christ, your anointed Savior, that world, witness, bow before, anoint him, because Christ mean anointed Savior with the oil, give him title of King of Kings, your title of earth's rightful ruler, title of conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, which the prophets of how many thousands of years had written and said, this is who he shall be when the Son of Man comes on earth in the flesh. The Son of
I
Man.
think it's the greatest story ever told, and that's why I'm so passionate about telling it. Queen
is
Mother
the
Moses.
greatest story. That's why I, as Nana, Amma, and Nancy, I am a storyteller. Great, and that is the story I am telling. It's a wonderful story. Let's move forward. I'm going to wrap
Yes.
up the story faster because there's plenty information. As we move along, we see now that his earthlight is trying. He was just fabulous. You understand? Move it right along. You know the story. We're not preaching to the choir. We're going to go now into next slide. The stories of hurt women providing healing, promoted hope. Women of all cultures have provided both healing and hope throughout history. So let's look at this as heal. You understand? All that is humility, create guidance, the soul, spiritual, sacred. Look at all those things for heal, oneness, love, kindness, journey, inspire, act, faith, intention, energy, receive, purpose. Hope is part of that too. Your overs, all of that is in the heal. Open your hand for the blessing. See it. Unlimited, we bless, right? As we provide healing and promote hope. Hope
Keep,
is
keep,
the only
keep
thing
the mic,
stronger
keep
than
the
fear.
mic close. Yes.
Hope is the only thing stronger than fear. Hope. Don't fear. Hope. It's strong. Let's move right along. Because for the hurt of the daughter of my people and my hurt, Jeremiah 8, verse 21, the King James Version, he said to Jeremiah, behold, it's the voice of the cry of the daughter of my people, because of them that dwell in a far country. Them praying and them asking, is not the Lord in Zion? Every time we see a next unlawful killing of those that's supposed to protect. You understand? We have to pray as a mother, as a sister, as a auntie. He's not the Lord in Zion. Oh Lord. And the Lord answered and said, it is for the hurt of the daughter of my people. I am hurt. I am black like she is. Choose the black woman whose cry he heard. See, because
Serious thing.
is there not no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? And you heard him him tell Jeremiah, right? Why then is not the health of the daughter of my people recovered? The Lord who said he's black like his daughter, who is going through all of this at the bottom of the ladder. You see? And I'm going to go to a sister born right here in America, and she is one of the reasons, Sojourner Truth, that we can look at July 4th. Because, what is your July 4th to me? It's July 4th, those blacks in New York State were given their emancipation. And she has done some wonderful thing. And remember what another king said. I'm talking about Martin Luther King Jr. Him say, if you lose hope, somehow you lose to be, you know, and the quality that helps you go on in spite of it all. That vitality that keeps life moving, you will lose the courage that comes with that. You overs. So
Yes.
you have to hold on to hope. Hold on tight to hope. You understand? Because it's for the hurt of the daughter of his people. And he says we must hold on to the hope.
And I think a lot of Rastafari have given up on repatriation, lost that hope of that early zeal. So this is a timely message.
Yes.
A
But if
lot of
they,
people don't.
let me tell you something. If they miss the boat, because guess what? We all come over on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. And African Americans are waking up, they're going home, them retiring and taking them social security and them, retirement benefits and them going. So I and I as Rastafari cannot afford after we come so long. And the same thing with the sacrament. See, that we go to prison feet, we dead feet, where the prison couldn't hold, the cemetery could. And them do that, them kill off who them for kill, and prison who for in prison. You understand? But let's not lose the hope. Let's hold on and stay on the front line. Yes, beloved. Because give thanks that we had Empress like warrior queen, Empress Title, who never give up hope. She know business how big Italy was. You understand? She take her fine tooth comb and look at what Charlie agreement. And she say, Italy, done. Transcribe it to their benefit because them had a plan from the Berlin time when Great Britain did promise them Ethiopia. It's pure backbiting and backstabbing going on, Politics of politics. We're not going to
Yes.
stay here, so move right along, my brethren, because the world woman's journey to healing and hope started from the beginning of creation. Jehovah's. And it continued to this time. And we know that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was adopted by the United Nations Assembly, states that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. You know, see, and everyone is entitled to all of the rights and freedom that's set forth in that declaration of humans without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, gender, sex, language, religion, birth, or other status. That's what you have to hold on to for your hope, because you have a right to be here. You have a right to be healed. Because, yes, institutionalized racism has left us with mental issues. And we have to heal self so we can heal family and community. And we're giving thanks. Them say we've come a long way. In 1968, if you were in America, you would have known that commercial. You know, see? And imagine every box of this product tell you it will kill you. You understand? And yet still, here where them are going to tell we say, make we figure no say something good. Move it right along. Hear them talk about. Right? Me know them cigarette, they're not providing neither healing nor offering no hope, and there's no progress there. Right? Because them talk about that they make Virginia slims, especially for women. Because women are biologically superior to men. You see how them play with your mind? Jehovah's. Eh? So some woman know the feminists them. Not us womanists. You understand? I got jump and say, yeah, man, we're biological. No, we're balanced. You understand? That's what we want. You know, see it. But look at some dates now. We're going to go over, the feminist movement. We're not going to go there. You understand? Let's move down to the All India Women's Conference that happened in January 1927. That date is important, 1927, because we're going to sure know what was going on. Malcolm, Martin, who we talking about? Marcus Garvey,
Mm-hmm.
1927. What going on? You understand? 7 years after that big march. You understand? Yeah, that All Indian Conference in 1927. From then, how far has women come? Really? Today, it seems the story America prefers to tell itself about white supremacy has little change since, no, it not change. So, how far? You know, it take a black man to move along, right? A black man fi tell the white man them say them better give them woman the right to vote. It's a black man tell them that in our conference. Yeah. And him work with them. You understand? Yeah, Frederick Douglass work with them. You know, see, because white people have to work on white people. You know, see, we must work on ourselves. You know, see, and make them work on themselves because they're not gonna listen to we. You know, see it. Them tell themselves so them better than we, so them not gonna listen to we. So we give thanks because we have women now like Stanton who talk about when she think of slavery, she have to think of herself. You understand? She have to think of herself too. Because we, the people, women were not included in it. It's just the white man. Them just have all the answers. But we going to move right along. We're not going to stay stuck here, so. Because him tell them plain and straight that we talk about Fred Douglass. Him say, I believe no man, however gifted with thought and speech, can voice the wrongs and present the demands of a woman with the skill and effort, with the power and authority of the woman herself. You overs. Yeah, because the woman knows and feels her wrongs the way a man can't. She's her own best representative, and she have to exercise the power that is naturally within her. All she asks is give her a fair play and hands off. You understand? Let us move along, people of our lands. Yes, I mean, I tell you, you have Harriet Beecher Stowe. You hear what she say? And she did write Uncle Tom's Cabin, And Uncle Tom, although some people are talking about, them are going like it's a negative thing. Uncle Tom was one of the, he was one of the real, Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad. He was a
Mhm.
major conductor. Yes, I'm the jazzman. You were saying something?
Oh no, I was agreeing that Uncle Tom, was part of the Freedom Force, and it was, I think, Sambo was a character
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
what they label now as a Uncle Tom.
Mm. But them never know him. That was the act, so they would know. Say him was a major, major station.
Yes,
You
yes, yes,
over.
yes.
So we're moving right along. Yes, you can go forward. And I'm going to tell you something about our Holy Mother, right? She older than our Holy Father. And she had three different times she did married before he became her fourth husband. And yet
Yes.
them saying all the time they married, there was never any need for a third party to mediate. Him say in her he found no guile. When you talk about virtuous woman, this is our Holy Mother. And guess
Yes,
what?
example.
She claim a word sound of power. Know this. Kemetic, ISIS always reincarnate in different iterations of eras, right? Our Holy Mother claim all women as sisters. She said one thing we have in common, we all hate war. You know? So she said we must all unite as sisters against war. And we put I in front of everything. So our Holy Mother is not just a mother, she's also what? I sister. You get
Okay.
it?
That might be controversial in some sectors.
Them can't,
But
it's always going to be controversial because she's ISIS, because she claim I. You know, see, she
yes,
say
yes,
all
yes.
woman. You know, see, and we founded Wave in Canada. What is Wave? Women Against Violence Everywhere. And my son, the amazing Papa Gad, go to Jamaica and him deal with the high school students, Papine and whatever. Africa Unite, the Marlies give him a medal for what him do. And him say, him joining with the women against violence everywhere for a world against violence everywhere. And it need the youth and the man them. Your overs. So no says a family thing. Every time. And so we are doing. Moving
Family is
right along.
important. It's
Yes,
important.
because throughout history, it has been the inaction of those who could have acted, the indifference of those who should have known better, the silence of the voice of justice when it mattered most that has made it possible for evil to triumph. You know, we don't want that. Make we move forward in a better way, you
Mhm.
know, because like Sojourner Truth say, ain't I a woman? I can do so much things, I'm not in any competition with a man, In a Jeremiah 32, him tell you, say, one new thing in the last days, the woman shall compass the man. Brethren, hold tight. Me never say surpass. Me say compass. It means to encircle, right? What that means, she know her place. She know when she must stay behind him and make him be up front as the leader. She know when she have to be beside him as his partner for balance the thing. And sometimes, my brothers, the woman has to step forward in front of the man to save our family. You over. So that's what encompass mean, and that is what's happening in the last days. Moving right along. Yeah? The black skin is not no badge of shame, but a glorious symbol, right? And we know that the role of race, we know it's institutionalized racism, but we're moving right along because we are the change and we are the one that we've been waiting on. You overs. So, did you know about the Bendera ya Taifa? Yeah, Kiswahili for the Pan African national flag because they were saying every race has a flag but the coon. And with them, did I call coon, you know? So him give us a flag. Yeah, the red for the blood and the struggle, the black for the people of color, the green for the whoa, the land fertile. Yes, and that is the symbol of hope, a liberated future which black people deserve. We word that. You know, see, we build this world. So know about the liberation flag and we give thanks for the Pan African Nkrumah, Kwame Nkrumah, who not only chose the colors of the flag of Ethiopia, but the black star of Marcus Garvey Black Star Line. The Ethiopian flag was originally red on top. His Majesty changed it and put the red on the bottom. He said, the blood of the people not on our shoulder any longer. And we have examples of the flag with the red at the top, as it is now like the liberation flag is. So though the red is now at the bottom for the Ethiopian World Federation and Ethiopia Moambasa, know that all of this is full circle. All right.
Give
So
thanks.
yeah, man. Blessed love. Moving right along with the connections. Okay. All right. Next one. So we talk about the month of August. The next slide. We already addressed this slide and the Women's Month in South Africa. What we don't talk about is August, and we're paying tribute to the 20,000 women who marched to the Union Building on the 19th of August,
Keep the
1956.
mic. Keep the mic close to
At the
your
mic, okay, you're hearing me now. All right. So, yes, we are celebrating August as Women's Month because 20,000 women on that picture. You see white woman, you see Indian woman, you see colored woman, and you see black woman. They all 20,000 of them say no. Them no want them not going to make black woman have to have flag, a passbook. And so as we move along to the legacy. You remember I asked who's the mother of black freedom? It's not Winnie Mandela. Winnie Mandela got an award for her Masik. There is the Masik Institute, Charlotte Mania Masik. Okay, and when she got when Winnie Mandela was given that award, one of part of her speech, she said, "Family is the baseline structure for community, the baseline structure of what we do within society and how we coexist." You over and um, Lindo Mandela was repeating what Winnie Mandela had been preaching all along. She married Nelson Mandela, got a prison for him, and all of those wonderful things. And so in 2021, Brantford, which was where she was imprisoned, was renamed Winnie Mandela in 2021. And the next year, they started the Mazik Award, and Winnie Mandela got it. And they actually named that year Mazik. Let's talk about who she is. Move it right along. Okay? Next. Okay. Mazik is honored as the mother of black freedom in South Africa. She had an ANC, the African National Congress Nurses School, named after her in Tanzania. The year of 2021 was declared the year of Charlotte Manya Manzik, realizing women's right. And Atambili Mazola had written The Silence and Erasure about Mazik's life is a travesty. That's why we have to tell the story of this woman. You understand? Who is she? Look at that picture, the historic graduate 1901. First woman from Africa to graduate with a bachelor's degree. And she graduated with it in America, right? You know, she said, education first. I feel that my own people at home need more education, and it is my earnest endeavor to assist in this work. And that is exactly what she did after she get her degrees, etc. And this is consistent with the Rastafari Minister of Education. Because next slide. Because our Holy Father, he never gave the ministry of education to anyone else. And he said, when we speak of education, we are not referring to the education that's confined to the four walls of a classroom, but to that type which can have a direct impact on the betterment of the living conditions of our people. And that's what she did. You know, she left South Africa and graduate with a degree, BS, Bachelor of Science from Wilberforce University, the first historically black university. Yes, and we have, graduate from Howard here, and we have graduate from Clark Atlanta University. Yeah, we have to go to historical black, college and university. Well, while she was there at Wilberforce, guess who was our teacher? None other than W.E.B. Du Bois. The history and the story about this woman. Wilberforce was established in 1863 as the cultural and academic center of the African American intelligentsia. It is the oldest, like I said, historically black college and operated by African Americans, of course, right here in the United States. And Charlotte was exposed to W.E.B. William Edward Burkhardt Du Bois, and Du Bois was one of her teachers, right? Wilberforce is affiliated with the African Methodist Episcopalian Church, the AME, and it is important because she went to South Africa and created that also. You understand? Mazik joined the university almost by fluke. She had been part of a traveling choir which had traveled to Great Britain to sing for Queen Victoria. And when the choir was abandoned, their English managers due to financial difficulty, Masik's plight attracted the attention of the ministers of the AME Church, the African Methodist Episcopalian Church. So in 1903, she had married Marshall Masik, one of the African students who also studied at Wilberforce. Together they worked at the AME and became one of the pioneers that founded the South African AME Church, right? She was named the president of the Women's Missionary Society in America, and education became a priority to both the husband and wife, right? And their children in South Africa. They have, as I said, the ANC school in Tanzania named after her. She set up an employment agency for Africans in Johannesburg, and she became the first black woman to become a parole officer for juvenile delinquents. You over
Okay.
the first black woman, right, to become a parole officer for juvenile delinquents. Why is that important? And Rastafari and I, as the prison chaplain, I am the first Rastafari chaplain in any prison system in the world. You overs. And because of the goodness, we move forward. Right? Yes. So, all of this, Marcus Messiah Garvey, yes, he believed that black people needed to be financially independent, and so he created the Black Star Liner, among other things. You know that he was charged for fraud, and we know the trial was politically motivated. Moving right along. As I told you before, he is the one, 1920, and the UNIA, that complain and look at the preamble of the Declaration of the Rights of the Negro People. Be it resolved that the Negro people of the world. Then look to the far right for the preamble of the EWF. We the black peoples of the world. So you see 1920, we are Negro. Ethiopia, they never liked that word. And, so by then it was the black people. But the language is similar, like I said. And Garvey did the complaints. There were 12 complaints. And from the beginning of time, you had human rights was on the agenda for people, okay? They have the Cyrus cylinder, which is thought of as one of the first human rights document in the 6th century, because Cyrus the Great, he had freed the slave and his conquest of Neo-Babylon Empire in 539 BC. But even before that, in Kemet, you had Pharaoh Bocchoris, 725 to 720 BC, who promoted individual rights and suppressed imprisonment for death and reform laws related to transference of property. And then you have Marcus Messiah Garvey and UNIA come in 1920. And in 1948, you have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that international document that the United Nations Assembly adopted. So Dr. Bayen, you know, did a great work. He did such a great work, the next slide, that he left us very early. You understand? So when we talk about constitution, we talk about UNIA, ACL August 1920 convention in New York and the infamous Madison Square Garden, where over 25,000 African American and many an African that convention. The EWF Constitution has an important connection for the global African population. So, let we move right along. We talk about the connections already. Now, who is Princess Laura Adorko Kofi? And what is her connection to the Rastafari prophet, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, and the UNIAACL, and repatriation? Yes, yes, the Queen Mother is coming into our role now as Nana Ama Anansi. Princess Laura Adorko Kofi. She's affectionately known as Mother Kofi. She's a martyred African princess of Asofa, Ghana, the Gold Coast of West Africa. And she was assassinated in the pulpit March 8th, which is International Women's Day, March 8th, right? 1928. Remember me tell you before about in a January 1927, you had the All Indian Women's Conference where the people them come from all over the world to go 1927. Well, imagine now, March 8th, the next year during International Women's Day, she was assassinated by man, right? And you all know, let not your heart be troubled. John 14:1 say, make we get the story. Who is she, right? She was a God princess, some say, also from the Ashanti from Kumasi. She started the African Universal Church and preached the gospel along with positive black identity. She moved to the US not as an immigrant, not in search of a better life, and not for any economic or spiritual gain, because Princess Laura Adorfor Kofi, she was the daughter of a God king, and she moved to the US as a free native to tell her fellow stolen African brothers and sisters the need for them to come home. Okay? This is
Okay.
1928. To
So,
come home.
so she was in Ghana in the 20s.
She born there. She born in Ghana. She born,
Okay.
yeah, she born in the
So what
Kumasi
what
area.
what what was the UNIA presence like in the 20s in Ghana?
Not as strong as, because um it wasn't as strong as it was on this side, but it was still, because we did have representatives that had come from the continent, and Ghana was one of them that was there in 1920. So there definitely, was things going on, you know,
So
and
this lady was at the center of that mobilization. Is that what the eye is saying? Use the microphone there. We're not hearing the eye.
Oh, I wonder. You
Yeah,
hear me now?
yeah, perfect, perfect.
Okay. Yeah. She moved to North America around 1918, right? And she lived in Detroit for several years. And she became a prominent name throughout the South. How come? She was attracting thousands to her speaking engagement because she was the one who revived the southern branches of Marcus Garvey's United Negro Improvement Association. But you know, the UNIA members, as well as ministerial alliances, became concerned over her striking popularity because she was getting more popular. Because Marcus was also arrested for mail fraud in 1925. So while I'm in prison, Princess Lara Adolphe Kofi's fame and influence was growing, and he was supporting her in the beginning, right? While he was in prison. But because she had a passion, you understand? Mother Kofi spoke about the greatness of Africa with passion. Enthusiastic crowds continued filling theaters and auditoriums in Florida and throughout the South to hear her passionate speeches about the opportunities that were available right for black people if they're repatriated in America. Why is this important? 1928. Remember, 1928, His Majesty would have to come in 1954 and claim the African Americans again. And him offer them not only, see, 500 hectares, right? No, they never get no 40 acres and no mule, right? And him offer them job, him offer them 3 months paid vacation, him offer them care, all of those things. Repatriation, and them still, them think them are wait for the elusive
You
independence.
raise a good point there because Haile Selassie had a benefits package that he was using to
Exactly.
attract African Americans in particular
You're right.
to come and to build a nation, but there were
Yes.
impediments put up by the State Department, and we have to recognize that there was government intervention that
Yes.
prevented some of
As
these.
a matter of fact, what we also must recognize, because there are many stories about how he started saying negative things about Emperor Haile Selassie. These dates are important because 1936. Look at these dates, though. We're going to come. Let me go through these dates quickly, right?
Yes.
She them had to follow because and she was feeling her life was in danger, so she relocated from Miami to Jacksonville. And she
Okay.
also announced her split from the UNIA. On March 8, 1928, she returned to Miami to speak. Thousands had gathered, right? In an unusual move, she asked her bodyguards to sit down, and that allowed a gunman to rush the stage and shoot Mother Kofi in the back of her head, killing her. Ironically, Mother Kofi was assassinated on International Women's Day, March 8, 1928, and she was not buried until Garvey's August 17th birthday.
That sounds like a J. Edgar Hoover work, though.
Well, it's larger than that, beloved. Right? Approximately 10,000 people attended the funeral. Let me give you some dates thing now. Garvey and politics at home and abroad, right? Because it even impact in relationship with his Majesty. Because what people don't know, that you see that centenary in August 1920, they don't know that His Majesty sent an Ethiopian little man when nobody know and pay any attention to it. Then give him two envelopes and tell him, say, give it to Marcus Garvey, nobody else. In one of the envelope was certificate for gold deposits. The other one was land title, right? So this is 1920, right? Say Marcus Garvey now, after a sentence 1927 commuted by US President Calvin Coolidge, he was deported to Jamaica in 1927, right? 1929, him started the People's Political Party, right? And he even served as city councillor. 1935, when the UNIA increasing financial difficulty, Garvey relocated to London, but his anti-socialist stance distanced him from many of the city black activists, right? So in a 1936, when Emperor Haile Selassie arrived in Bath, months later, right?
Yes.
Garvey tried, and the emperor in exile wanted the connection. Cause remember, him don't give him the land and the gold reserve, access. But Garvey was not one of the city black activists that was given access to the emperor. See, in
Mm-hmm.
June of that year, His Majesty addressed the League of Nations. And His Majesty, some people say, well, His Majesty could have become Marcus Garvey. Every day him can't get in touch with His Majesty and write something negative. Every day, every week it get more negative, right? And some people are saying, well, His Majesty could at least send him a letter or something. Who control the letter? The Royal Mail. Them never want them to get together. So His Majesty see the play. So what His Majesty do? 1937. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie sends his royal cousin and personal physician, Dr. Malaku Bayen, to Harlem to found the Ethiopian World Federation August 25th, 1937. In 1940, Garvey died there in England, saying many negative things. Eventually, he did change him tune and started, saying other things. But when His Majesty triumphantly, the conquering lion, re entered Ethiopia, Marcus Garvey had transitioned. We must be careful when we are born people and say certain things. You understand? Now, 1962, Jamaica gets its independence, and 1963 is Coral Gardens. And His Majesty go talk to the United Nations, right? And that speech, see, did that have something to do? Because 1964, Garvey's body was returned to Jamaica, right? Third national hero, the overs. So, according to the local, and Mother Kofi had received thousands of mourners, approximately 10,000. So you see how the timeline's going? And
Yeah,
you know,
man. And I wanted to just add that when His
yes,
Majesty visited Jamaica in 1966, he visited Marcus' grave
yes,
and he laid a wreath. So to
yes,
show that there was no bad blood
no bad blood.
on his side, blessing Marcus.
So Marcus never understand what was going on. And sometimes the man them make ego go to them head, unfortunately. You understand? And that's
Yes.
part of the issue we got. Can you guys see what happened now? All right. Hear about the Ghana and Jamaica connection. Not only say the AN, the Ashanti, the Royal Kingdom, and the Paramount Emperor, because him is King of Kings, right? Say that him tell ECOWAS say no, them not going out to no war against each other for France and no United States, and done that, right? So know that our traditional, we stop talking about chief, because there was chief slave. That is what the colonizers, there was king before the colonizers could call them chief. But
Very important. These were all kingdoms. These were all
yes,
kingdoms.
kingdoms. It's kings rule them, and it's king of
Yes.
kings and emperors. You understand? So yeah, so we are retalk, and me feel good because my husband father is one of the kings that is part of the kingdom of the Ashanti kingdom. You understand? And report, of course, to the paramount king of kings, who is also, all of them is Judah, some lion kingdom, including
Yes,
my
yes.
husband.
And
All of them
if you
born
go
to
to the
lion.
Ashanti Palace, you will
Yes.
see a medal that His Majesty gave the
Yes,
Ashanti
yes,
Ini of that time,
it's there.
the Lion of Judah.
Right.
I want to just take some time and big up Ramia King Design. I'm drinking water. They have sponsored the Lion Voice Network. They have these nice cups with His Majesty. You can see I'm drinking my water, feeling very nice, refreshed. Give thanks Ramia King Design. Big up CMAS. Our brethren Ras Wally has created a very mighty product, the CMAS. CMAS has been one of the sponsors of the program from the beginning. So you can see we're bringing these revolutionary guests on the Lion Talk Live to talk about topics that relate high level reasoning. We're learning now about a woman, a Ghanaian woman who was part of the UNIA, who was preaching, drawing massive crowds, in America and was assassinated. So, this is very, very powerful information. We don't have too much longer. I want to just wrap up the presentation
Yes.
because I
Let
still,
me
we
seal it.
don't touch repatriation and these things.
Right. Let me seal it so that I'll leave time for question.
Yes,
The bottom line is, Mama Kofi's rise within the organization was rapid, right? I
yes.
don't go forward, right? And she soon became the national field director and sought after sportsperson, right? She had revelation to liberate African American and take them on the right course back to the promised land. You overs. So, um, go to the next one. Right. And as of she's continued to rise, Garvey, who was in the Atlanta penitentiary, indicted in the beginning, was very supportive, you know, and because the Black Star Line and founded in 1919 and February 22 because of the mismanagement. So as early as 1925, Princess Laura Adokorfa, known as Mama Kofi, was considered a leader in the Back to Africa movement, particularly in the South, right? She claimed her father sent our people to America to find the lost children of Africa and to take them back home. She related plans to build sawmills in Alabama to pay for leased Japanese boats to facilitate mass exodus to Africa. You understand? And let me tell you on a personal note, Gamansi, that's the title of the rulers of the gas state in southern Ghana. And it was Agamansi, the co-founder of the Chaliwate, the biggest festival in West Africa, who brought Princess Nana Mother Kofi to my attention, because I was bringing to his attention the fact that the ceremonies were starting on August 17th. You know,
Hmm.
see, and that was Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey's birthday, and his response was Garvey was responsible for assassinating his great grand. That sent me digging for who this woman was, and
Okay, okay.
sure enough, yes, somebody from UNIA did. One get killed. You know, the day before she was assassinated, them call Garvey on the 7th, and him tell them, according to these sources, get rid of her. And next day, International Women's Day, them kill her. Bottom line, assassinate her in front of all of those people. You know?
Do we have I mean, you
Sources,
cite the sources, those are serious
many,
allegations
many,
against
many. But
Garvey, and we
no,
have to
no,
rem-
it in the court. It in the records. It's in the
and um,
records.
and also
Immediate
we have to
account.
remember that Garvey's institution was highly infiltrated by the
Who
FBI at the
remember?
time.
Yes.
So, he could have meant get her out of the organization, and they took it as a kill order. So, we have to look deep into this. This is very serious, what we're saying here in terms of the historical record. But I didn't know about this lady
You have to
at
go and look.
all.
Me I tell
You
you,
know what I
cause
mean?
the
So I think
evidence is there. You
it's
understand? The people were after them assassinate her. The people who are workers, them beat. It's three of them was there from the UNIA that had, them called Garvey the 7th, and then the 8th them go do that. One article stated that it was Claude Green who had fired the fatal shot that killed Mama Kofi, while
mhm.
Nemo had stood at the church door and given Green the signal when to shoot. According to Negro circles, Garvey had promised both Green and Nemo they would be well rewarded for their services if successful. Collins and Collins stated that the seven kings of the Gold Coast had reputed dated Garvey and his plan some time ago, primarily because Garvey wanted to keep the Negroes in his own African colony, while the seven kings had seen this reparation as an opportunity to open up profitable trade in the US. So that's why it said that Princess Kofi was sent to America to ascertain the extent of Garvey's duplicity and to warn possible gullible Negroes. So when Garvey started, no, in the beginning it was pushing her as this the princess. Then in 1928 it started saying she a fake and whatever. And so the research went in, and the king ended up, making him presence known, although him didn't end up coming, but the research is all there, the sources are there, that she definitely was from a king. Her father was a king. So
What is this in any books, or where are these
yes, yes,
sources?
yes, man, different sources. You see, it's source research by Diana Barry. Different, I've sent you the copy, so there are different sources that's linked all throughout this presentation. I always use sources. Okay,
Yes,
so
I know
yeah, you
your
see.
research is
All
very
right, so
rigorous.
let's close out now. Next, let His Majesty tell us. You know, those are some of you
Is there
know.
anything?
See on this slide, look, you see the impact. She's from Ghana, the Pan Africanist, W.E.B. Du Bois, Kwame Nkrumah, Maya Angelou, Malcolm X, all in Ghana. You understand? Ghana, and now them a call back for once come home. You understand? Ghana have a very important role in the repatriation movement. You understand the Black Star Line, Marcus Garvey. That is very important. So the item see, Malcolm X, you know, these are our Pan Africanists. So now His Majesty says a time as we seal out now, you're not a free time. We would like again to emphasize the value of time and urge you to dedicate yourself to hard work and profitably use your time. There is no energy in the world, including that of the atom, that cannot be controlled. However, there is no scientist on earth who could control, even for a second, the flow of time. For this reason, never idle away your time, however briefly. This is the message that our Holy Father, His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie, gave as his address to the nation in 1959. I am going to let the last words be from the man whose birthday we are celebrating, the Emperor Menelik. The last words of Menelik II. He says, I urge you to live in love, just as I have lived in love with you so far. One love, peace and love, Jah love. I love bless.
Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. Mighty, presentation, as I say, very controversial. We're gonna have to do some digging. Lion Pride, you've heard some of the evidence presented about this, woman uh, from the Back to Africa movement, actually born in Ghana, who was assassinated here in America. So, definitely I know a lot of the. I'm not the only reading Ras. We have a lot of Rasses out there who love research and reading. So definitely go dig and find.
Though
Um,
poor for they named the community after her. It's went she had the church there.
yes, yes,
It's
yes.
run down now and what but
No, it's
her
here.
memorial is there too. Remember, I'd shown that there. The memorial is there.
Make sure
It's
you're
sealed.
talking to the mic.
Yeah, the memorial, the mausoleum is there in Tampa. It's sealed, but it's there. One and every March 8th, both sides, because the church end up splitting that she founded, but March 8th they all come together at her for a memorial by her mausoleum in Florida
Okay,
on
okay.
International Women's Day. It's just ironic that it's International Women's Day, some man assassinate a woman. We are preach God's word. It rests
No, no.
away.
we give thanks for that. One of the things I wanted to touch on though before we seal up, I couldn't bring the eye here as one of the frontline warriors who is on the continent, you know, back and forth, back and forth. I want the eye to just give the ones who are not familiar. The eye has a very strong presence in South Africa. Um, just talk about some of the works in South Africa, the land that is there, and just for the ones who are not aware, paint a picture of what's happening in Southern Africa.
Southern Africa really is just, it's always had a
Mike,
resistance.
you
It's
have to talk
always
a bit
had a
more.
resist.
Yes,
Southern Africa has always had a resistance movement, to apartheid, and the Rastafari has come out of that. The Rastafari is a resistance, to apartheid and that. In 2002, Southern Africa is the land of my repatriation. I told you about ARC Local, ARC, Atlanta Rastafari Community. We actually prepared for repatriation, right? So we had training for almost 2 years. We would meet on Sundays, Bible study and classes for the youths and different things. And then we were dispersed. I was sent to Southern Africa. Uh, uh, um, um, Empress Aymara was sent to West Africa, and Kip Ezekiel and Kuma was sent to East Africa, Ethiopia. We all were trained, and prepare to welcome the ones home for repatriation. And everyone has done their part in the part of the world that they went to. Me in Southern Africa, I ended up meeting Umzwaki Sigudla, who was the founding president of the Southern African Youth Movement in President Mbeki's palace, because um, they had called for a 10 years after apartheid conference, and they invited what they considered the greatest minds of the world from all of the continents and the world. And they considered me one of them. So I was one of them for the week conference. And Umzwaki had just returned from Mozambique, where he had met with the president, because he was the youth president, the youth representative to the president, youth advisor. And he came and he had heard my presentation and came up to me at President Mbeki's palace and said they needed me to be the founding queen mother of the Southern African Youth Movement. We started in a one room classroom at the University of Pretoria, and
what year
today,
was this? What year was this?
2002,
Okay.
2002, 2003, yeah. Um, and today, he would, the process, he would have to get, find the funding sources and give me a first draft, and then I would make it internationally ready for any kind of international funders. So we started getting funding and doing things, and we put on when it came, when OAU was changed to AU, we were part of that. And we brought all of the youth leaders from all of the countries of Africa to Pretoria and did capacitating session, and we decided saying this not going to work, we see that for a fact. So NEPA, the New Africa Partnership for Africa Development, all of that I've been a part of. I've been, AU, OAU, represented at the United Nations, in New York, in Southern Africa, in Kenya, in different parts of the world. And oftentimes, myself, my beloved Mama Ijania, who has transitioned, and
Yes.
Empress Marina, the only ones that of Rastafari or from the sixth region. Because when them talk about the diaspora, guess what? is the African that born in Africa, that not living there now, working and going to school outside of the Africa. They are the ones in these conferences. They are the ones, you know. So each of us would have to
Also,
break
I
up the code
know,
for
I
the
know
person.
Mama Desta has been doing some work as well.
Well, after that is after. This is, you know, she has come and started working with in Ghana, the diaspora, you know. But that was not working with the grassroots. You understand? Them said it was
Oh,
working with the people with money, and it don't trickle down to the grassroots. You know, what we talking about was before all of that. You understand? And even now, that is one of the things them talk about the diaspora. Because even when we did the GAD, the Global Africa Diaspora Summit in Southern Africa with both the United Nations and African Union, uh, um, the head of that, you know, she got a big title now to again additional whatever. Her daughter was supposed to be the female youth representative and amazing Papa Gad, you know, Tafawa. My son was the Rastafari youth ambassador, and you know, them ready for deal with the youth work and whatever. And King as an indigenous youth leader from Southern Africa, and you know, just name brand and whatever. Them call after the conference done for meetings follow up. Not happen. You understand? So we don't work so we just continue to work with Southern African youth movement. And today, you know, we just opened this year a state of the art rehabilitation center for youth. It have a culinary arts center. It have athletic center. You know, stadium. It have pool. It have 15 acres for agriculture
where
and
is that?
livestock in Mpumalanga, Southern Africa. And it's the same time I started working with the Rastafari, with Southern African Youth Movement. I started working with the Rastafari movement in Southern Africa. And them fight me out, me a Jamaican, me a no African. You have almost generation born upon the country. This is what Toto Aramanuba was preaching after him change how much different uh, 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 um organs him start and leave it and all of that. So, you know, Rastafari at time we just know say there are some of us that have stayed and kept our eyes on the prize and kept doing what we needed to do. In 1992, when I went as the ambassador, my first assignment as the Queen Mother of the Rastafari Faith Movement Arc, Global Empire Arc, I brought, you know, educational equipment and sports equipment and put on the first educational program, and you know, rented bus and carried the youths them to the summer palace. They had never, even though them born there, they hadn't been. You understand? And those kind of thing. Years after, my sister and sister Carol went and repeated the same thing. These are the things we do. So from 1992, so then 2002, now we started Play Rasco. The Rasco play is positive learning activities for youth acronym. RASCOP is Rastafari Annual Summer Camp Unity Power Program. And for 10 years straight, this is the 11th year. Even during COVID, we put it on, never get no funding from no outside entity. I and I, as Rastafari, Empress of Zion, fund it and do what we need to do. And, you know, teach them how they must deal with it. Language, art, you know, indigenous knowledge. These are the subjects. Floating, all kinds of things. So, you know, and we launched it in Ghana in 2020, right after COVID had started.
Yes, yes.
And
Our time is running out quickly, but I cannot bring you on the line and talk and you don't touch the work that you're doing in Ghana. Your Kingman is in Ghana. Ghana, you have put down roots in Ghana. Talk about just very quickly some of the works in Ghana. You're gonna have to come forward because 2 hours is not enough
yeah,
time.
because you see, you
To,
know, because I'm doing all of this work, not only, you know, I'm doing that in South Africa, I'm doing it in Ghana also, yes, you know, be moves. And, you know, as I mentioned before, I am married to the son of one of the Ashanti kings. And at 18 years old, he graduated from Teachers College and he went on to earn, you know, to do arts education as an arts education teacher. And now he's going to start his fourth year in his third program in the performing arts. majoring in dance, you know. And the same time he's continuing to do the artwork. BBC has declared him Ghana's most talked about artist. As a matter of fact, Gamanchi, who is the founder of the Chalewate festival that BBC has declared him the most talked about artist. And that that guy, he's the one that told me that Marcus Garvey and them people assassinate his great grand. So there's a story behind that from their point of view too. And
Yes,
funny
yes,
enough, the ceremony for the Charlie Water Festival starts today. It starts on the 17th of August.
yes, yes, yes. Very, very important in terms of the work that you're doing in Ghana. We don't touch the prison ministry that you have done. You
Yes,
know,
I brought the Rastafari faith from being defined as an emerging faith. And today, you know, it's now the number one major faith. Over 6,000. I've got all the young people there, most, you know, to choose the Rastafari faith because I give them evidence of their faith. And for the first time, they are seeing themselves in holy books like the Bible and different books. Them see God saying black with him hair is wool and him skin as sunburnt skin. Them never see themselves in any holy books before, and those
and a
things
lot of
make
people
a
don't
difference.
know what's happening quietly. Queen Mother Moses' work and Big Up Idor, which
Yes, the
I'm a
endorsing
founding
body.
member, one of the proud legacy that I have as well in terms of the anniversary development of Rastafari and the prison ministry. Big up Ross Wayne. We have a lot of ones that have worked, to really help to make sure that prisoners or ones who are Rastafari within the prison system are seeking information, are able to get information, they're able to hold ISIS, they're able to get access to reading materials. There's a curriculum that was created, so a lot of work. And because of that work, the population of Rastafari in the prison is growing. And that's what Queen Mother Moses is referring to quietly. The teachings of His Majesty are going in the prisons, and the youths them are able to now select. So talk about that very quickly because
Yeah,
time I
well,
run out power.
yeah, you know, definitely. Like I said, when I went, it was like 2000. Abuna Fox and his Levites had walked out and left their population about 2000, and they had left a teaching that woman can't teach man. So the first thing me do when me go into a prison for go deal with the man, them ask them what the first person will teach them
Shift
how to
over a little
pray.
bit. Shift over, yes, shift over there.
Yeah, so the first thing me ask them, who's the first person that teach you how to pray and teach you about God? And of course, you know what is the answer.
Mm,
Who is the first person teach you for prayer?
your mother.
Exactly. So I ask them, so when since woman can teach man, if them a teacher from your no born, you know, that shut up
Mm,
everyone. You overs. So that's so. But you know, when I first went, I told they bring me in a big meeting to question my loyalty to the department. I'm tell them say I speak true to power, family, friends, and foe. And the truth is, I did not come into DAX Department of Correction for the Rastafari. I came for the youths. Them never overstand that because I know the man them they don't have their mindset already. And it's the youths them turn and get 4,000 more. You understand? Double what was there. We have over 6,000 now. Now Roman Catholic is number two when it's been number one. And it's not because Rastafari committing more crime, but the young people them choosing this faith and others from other faith are changing them religion to Rastafari. 'Cause every month we give them new evidence. Every month. Just like I'm just showing up and giving them new evidence. Every month we
yes,
find new things. Every month. You overs are related. Same so. That's why I'm the CEO, Chief Education Officer.
give thanks. And these are mighty works, because, we have to shine the light in the darkness. Give thanks, Queen Mother Moses, for your service. Give thanks. We're going to bring Queen Mother Moses forward. We're going to get more of the life story. There's so many aspects we don't talk about. Your time with Fred Locks and whole heap of
And
story
that
that the
Gumba
music.
royal family, cause
Yes,
marriage, royal marriage is not about love and them kind of thing, there and virgin thing and whatever.
yes.
I married into the Dagomba royal family, so the Dagomba royal family would accept the royal faith. Black Natty Ras Ulu, yeah, his grandfather was the Panalana, the royal family. So them accept now the Rastafari faith. They are 99% Muslim. And now you have Muslim young man, they must say Jah Rastafari, them say it's not the Bible.
Wow.
You say it, you
So
understand?
so
And
there's a
then
there's
my
a
present husband now, because his father disowned him when him said Rastafari and start long time,
wow.
whatever. Now they accept the Rastafari faith in the Ashanti royal family.
Well, that is again so many groundbreaking work that the eye has done as an emissary of His Majesty. We give thanks for the eye story. Big up CMAS in the building again. Big up Ramia King Design. Big up all of the Lion Pride who have tuned in. Big up all the Lion Pride on Patreon supporting the platform. We're telling our family, if you love the platform, so go to Patreon, support the platform, $10 a month, $5 a month. Help us to build. I do want to build a production studio in Ghana where we can really have a Rastafari own multimedia infrastructure, because why? Because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. It's very important for I and I as
Yeah,
we
big up
repatriate
Ghana.
and
Hmm.
as we come into the continent, we have to control the narrative in terms of the messages and the stories that we're telling, and not have others dictate that for us. So tell a friend to tell a friend, spread the word about the Lion Voice Network. Any final sound, Queen Mother Moses, and let the people
Man,
know
big
how
up,
they can tap into
big
that.
up Cassava Peace, big up Atlanta, big up Rude Boys International, big up the Boss Swag, amazing Papa Giad, Papa G, and my wonderful son, firstborn, Isa Char, Jamak, Red Dan, Rude Boys International will help with all of these, whatever. And Black Santino in a Ghana. Legacy, we have some things going
Yeah,
on. We have
man,
one
big,
package we
big,
have to
big them up,
carry.
big them up.
Yes, all right. South Africa. Yes, Umzwaki. And of course, my beloved husband, Ampem Diarco. Yeah, Nana Ya and Nancy. Proud of you, beloved. You did great, Watch him for Charlie Wate. Them attack about him already. And this time it's on the grounds of the Royal Palace this year.
Okay,
First time.
okay.
So
So how do the people get in touch with you? Social media, Facebook, how can they tap in with your movement and what you're
Wunzuya
building?
Queen Mother Moses on Facebook. Wunzuya Queen Mother Moses on Facebook. That's the best place to catch me. Your overs and yeah. Um, those who know when me there on WhatsApp and
Yes,
yes, and I'll
definitely.
give
And Queen,
thanks,
yeah,
thank you for thinking of me and whatever, because I really wasn't feeling well, and I really, I was very down because I lost my very good sister in transition, Lana Simeon. Me can't take, I tell you, me can't mourn. 'Cause every week is somebody close to me, family and friends, you understand, and sister and brethren, and it's
yes,
weak, especially when you're living with a death sentence. Cause 6 months them they give me for live from ovarian cancer in 1989. You overs. So sometimes it's rough. I do live in pain, chronic pain, but who would I know? I can't. Life too blessed to remain stressed, and to a 90 to remain disappointed. Know that.
highly, highly.
Yes, master life.
Yes, and
Brother
we
Joy, 7 miles of Black Star Line. Big up Fred Locks, the man when near me, the woman called Moses. Yes, I. Yes. I'm Black
so much
Natural.
of so much of the story has not been told. Queen Mother Moses will return. Do not worry yourself, people. This was just a taste. Big up Marcus Garvey, big up Emperor Menelik II, big up His Imperial Highness Zari Jacob, big up the Lion Pride family. Remember that the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story, and this is the Lion's voice.
Yeah, roar lioness. And you see me have on my banner, and me also have on the red, black, and green. The liberation flag, everything. Bless up.